Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace be unto you. Welcome to Sajdah's Monday Morning Motivation. Grab some coffee, tell a friend, like and subscribe, and I'll be back in a few short minutes.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judges, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace be unto you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Sajdah's Monday morning motivation. Hope y'all got y'all some coffee. This is really Sajdah morning coffee talk, but we just call it Monday morning motivation, right? Because we still talk about life, love, and business, and just share things that we can utilize as themes to start our week, to create sort of that winner circle, that camaraderie. And I have some amazing things set up for you guys that I'm so excited about. And I can't wait to tell you about. So happy Monday. In Chicago, we're going to be scorching the next couple of days, actually the next few days. We did, I think it was close to 100 yesterday. I know the heat index on Saturday was 100 degrees, but it wasn't quite 100 degrees yet. So anyway, we just got to roll with whatever this means spiritually. And I want to say this to you all because I talk to so many people that are pushing back on weather conditions and nature all the time. And I know what it is. I know that we're afraid that the weather conditions are going to impact our property and our lives, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, there's not anything we can do about it. So since there's nothing we can do about it, I say that we just roll with whatever it means spiritually and pray to be in the right space so that it doesn't impact us. So whether it's 100 degrees or 100 below degrees, we should be praying to have protection from that element, regardless of what that element is. And it's like gas prices, right? You don't control the gas prices, and neither do I. So my prayer is always, I pray that I have what I need when I need it, when it's time to need it, however much I need to be able to move forward and take care of. And I would take care of whatever I need to take care of. So I would say the same thing to you guys for the weather. Okay. Let's just pray that we are protected and loved and taken care of during the times of these extreme weather situations. And let's not stress about something that we can't necessarily control. So what does that mean? If it's a tornado, let's pray that we're able to take cover and that our family is safe, and we can do what we can to be all right. And then let's pray that if it's hot outside, that we can get air conditioned, get to a cooling center, go to a friend's house, whatever we got to do. But let's try to be in spirit during these times and not pushing against spirit and creating unnecessary stress on ourselves for something that we can't do anything about. All right. I see you in the chat, Sister Betty, Sister Nubia Latifa, Brother Robert 11X. Walaikum salam, sir. This week coming up, we got, you guys remember Sister Carmen? She's a friend of the show. We had her on the Mind of an Entrepreneur show Thursday night. I guess now it's been about 3 weeks ago. And this week is her award ceremony and her fashion show. I am so humbled that she is going to include me among the honorees at her event this Friday. It's going to be at the Salam. It's a black carpet, black tie. I don't know what you mean. How you say that? Golden carpet, black tie. How about that? Affair. So if you're coming, you got to dress up. It's going to be fabulous. That is actually going to be fun for me because it's my birth anniversary. Maybe that Friday morning during coffee talk, we'll have a little party, right? I want to encourage us to live a little. Allow yourself to live. And what do I mean by that? it's really hard for us as spiritual people to get behind this concept of living a little, because in this world, living a little and having fun has to do with sport and play or drinking or partying. Um, and I'm not talking about that. I mean, because we all know people. There's some people that's all they do is party. They just kick it and party, and they don't care about nothing else. And their lives reflect the fact that that's pretty much what they do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about living a little. Get out in nature. Sit outside. Work outside. You know, I have some days where I decide especially on days where I have admin days where I'm just going to be going through emails anyway, or I got to write up a proposal or something. I'll do it outside, or I'll change locations and change the energy. And I'm going to give you all a little revelation. It's not from me. This is just something I've learned over the years, and something that I was taught many, many years ago that took me a long time to get it. It's not about hard work. It's about your energy. Type that in the chat for me. It's not about hard work. It's about your energy. And it took me a long time to get that. Still being that little girl that had to check all the boxes and get the good grades and work extra hard for the program or the competition or the scholarship or the whatever. And that becoming ingrained in my subconscious. And so I think I thought that the harder I'd worked, the more money I would have, the more successful I would be. And don't get me wrong, my hard work has really paid off for me in my life. You know, many of the things that I've accomplished, hard work has accompanied it. But I also had to learn that my energy is a big part of that as well. And even in a case where hard work is there, but the energy is a bigger part of it that kind of lays on top of the hard work. Because you can bust your butt for years. I mean, I'm talking about working hard, excuse my language, and look up and be 60, 65, 70 years old and not have anything. And not really have a life that is equivalent to the amount of energy that you put out in terms of hard work. So what I've learned is that it's not all about that. The work is important. Of course, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to work. So that's important. But what's really important is our energy and what we're putting out there. Because a lot of us go to work hard, but we're in energetic situations that are not productive, that are negative, that are bad. And then we come home to a negative environment that we created because we've neglected it. So the children are negative, the husband, the wife is negative, the house don't look right because we don't even take time to make sure that it's a reflection of our spirituality. We're doing all this stuff over here, but we're not balanced. And so therefore our energy is off. And then we wonder why we don't get the fruits of our labor. And I'll tell you this, we've been conditioned. Thank you for putting that in the chat. We've been conditioned to be okay with not reaping or not being able to harvest the fruits of our labor. And a lot of people don't like to talk about this. They can't stand it when we keep relating things back to slavery, but it's so much a part of our programming that we have to know when it goes to that and when we have to unravel it, when it originated there. But because We were rebellious at a certain point in our history. And then we became so tribalized and so distant and so apart from one another, distant from one another. Then we go from that history into being kidnapped and brought to the shores of the Americas and sold. And our hard work and labor was all we had to do. And if we didn't labor, there was a problem. So we never got anything from our land. We still haven't. We're still looking for reparations. We're still looking for some type of credit for all the work that we did. So there's this labor that we've been putting in for these hundreds of years. Our mind is so accustomed to not receiving anything for it that if somebody tells us, okay, well, at 65, you can retire and we'll give you part of the money that we held back out of your paycheck. So really, you just worked and saved to be able to say at 65, I can sit down. So what they're saying is, we're not going to give you anything extra. We're just going to keep taking money out of your check. And then when you get 65, we'll just give it back to you. And and all the hard work that you've done, everything you've put in, everything you've invented, everything you've created, everything you've contributed to, thank you very much. We're going to take that from you and you don't get any of it. And we're so programmed to be okay with that when somebody tells us live a little, the only interpretation of living that we have, again, goes back to the interpretation that we were given as slaves. All right, you got time off. It's time to party. It's time to go eat. You can go drink you some moonshine. If you're doing real good, you get a real crispy piece of fried chicken. And we still doing it to this day. All right, in order to live, I gotta turn up. I gotta get drunk, put a whole bunch of poison in my body so I get sick and throw up. That's living. And literally, we don't even know that our epigenetics in some cases are addicted to that. So if you notice, I'm always encouraging us to go back. And I, in my mind, during meditation for years, since I was a little girl, went way back to antiquity, way back to before we were slaves, to the point where when I first became a member of the Nation of Islam and I was told to read, or I wasn't told, but I got into all this conscious reading and I read They Came Before Columbus. And I remember reading that book and saying, I knew it. I knew it because I had seen it in my mind's eye. And so my references when I start talking about ancestral things are not just slave references. If you hear me, I rarely will say, well, this person was a slave or whatever. I'm going back before then. Back to when we practiced our own spirituality. We had our own thing that they call religion now, but our own spirituality, our own way of aligning with God. I go way back to when we were like the Queen of Sheba and navigating the earth and trading gold and diamonds and respecting the earth. And I go back to that. I go back to the really like the Anunnaki, where we were universal citizens and we could command the powers of the universe and do whatever we wanted for the sake of good. I go back to that. And I start thinking about, how would I not make the same mistakes if I was given those powers of the universe? How would I How would I handle that power if I could control fire or water or certain energies or read thoughts or whatever? How would I handle it? Would I be malicious? Would I be evil? Would I be mean? Would I not execute the same mercy that I'm asking for, that I pray for? Because a lot of us, we ain't got no mercy. We don't give nobody no grace. Somebody mess up and we on them like, whew, like white on rice. We're not playing. We mad, we angry, we punishing people. But if we do something, we like, oh, forgive me, I just made one mistake. But the point I'm making is living a little, the way I define it, is finding a way to enjoy nature, finding a way to listen to music and hear sounds in the music that maybe you normally wouldn't hear. Finding a way to go on a beautiful walk in a beautiful space. Finding a way to enjoy something that is different from your daily routine. Take yourself out of the daily routine that we have been addicted to for a few generations now and figure out how to go and access more energy, different energy. See, this is especially important for us as entrepreneurs, because here's what happens to us. As entrepreneurs, we're working, we're striving, and we are not accustomed to things going up and down, right? It's what you hear a lot of entertainers talk about. Like 1 minute you're up and the next minute you're not, but it's a flow, right? Because we're used to working a job and we feel like things are steady then, or we're used to somebody else taking care of us. And as long as we're giving them our consistent blood, sweat, and tears, then they give us that paycheck every 2 weeks. And a lot of us say, well, that's better than them ebb and flows that y'all be going through as entrepreneurs. And then on top of it, the people around us don't understand or respect the ebb and flows. So if you got superficial people around you, if you are an entertainer and you got a lot of superficial people around you, and all of a sudden you don't have a hit record, or all of a sudden you don't have, the cash flow from the record company that you used to have, and maybe things ain't flowing from you the way they used to be, then you got to deal with people around you now abandoning you, disrespecting you, feeling a certain way. And so all of that ties into why we don't understand that it's not about the hard work, it's about the energy. The hard work is necessary. You got to put in the discipline. You got to study. You got to work. You got to do that. But what is your energy while you're doing it? And what is your energy in general? Like right now, we talked a few weeks ago about checking in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? Because we are such, I'm just going to say it, we are such liars, and we lie to ourselves and to other people. We know that in our thoughts just 10 minutes ago, we was thinking something negative about somebody, trying to figure out how we could hurt somebody, trying to figure out what we could do. Let me tell you something. God is such a I don't even know how to say this. God, I'll say it this way. God is such a powerful force. You ain't got to try to worry about hurting nobody. Because if you align with your purpose and with what God put you on the planet to do, and you're accepting his assignment and you're doing what you need to do, he will destroy and take out anybody or anything that gets in his way. Most of us have seen it time and time again. So I don't spend no time on that negative stuff. I just go, all right, let me just figure out where my flow needs to be. Allah, what do you want me to do? How do I show up and show out for you? How do I allow you to flow through me? When I get up in the morning, before I even open my eyes, I'm working on becoming that conduit, clearing up my pipeline so that Allah can flow through me. And then I go into my meditation. Once I get up, I do my meditation, and it's all about calibration and alignment to that pulsation of the universe, to source, to Allah. It's all about that. And then I go into prayer, and the prayer is all about alignment, submission. Because as long as you are, think about water. Let me tell you like this. You see a pipeline, and the water's flowing through the pipe. If something stops up the pipe, the water doesn't stop flowing. The water is going to find a way to either bust through the walls, bust through the pipe, bust through the blockage, or back up and go back out the way it came. But that water is going to flow. And that pipe being busted is not going to stop that water from flowing. That pipe being stopped up is not going to stop that water from flowing. That water is going to flow. It's going to flow through it. It's going to bust through it. It may back up and go the way it came, but it's coming. And that's the way God is. You don't have to worry about it. So your energy does not have to go towards trying to figure out how to stop somebody who is trying to impede your progress. Trust me on that. I've watched it with my own eyes, how I'll be working on something that I know Allah wants. And if I'm focused there and somebody try to get in the way, you start seeing them. They've got a different look in their face. Sometimes they may just drop dead, pass out, get sick. Something bad happens. They get removed. It happens. You don't even got to worry about it. That's how important your energy is. That's why I'm saying it's not the hard work. It's about your energy. The work you're going to do, you already know how to do it. Trust me, these people been training you to work 9 to 5 and then some since you got here. You know how to do that part. You may not want to. You may have gotten lazy, but you damn sure know how to do it. But it's the energy part. Because when somebody else is taking care of all your needs, you don't always have to worry about your energy. Why? Because you don't need your energy in order to eat. Because somebody else is feeding you. Because they're controlling you. But when you eat what you kill, when your energy is what controls or directs what comes to you and what kind of life you live, what kind of environment you live in, what you're surrounded by, when your energy controls that, and you understand that your energy controls that, then you begin to say, okay, let me get my energy together. So it's not about the hard work, it's about the energy. And if I started to say this, if as an entrepreneur, you find yourself in a position where things aren't quite going the way you need them to go, and you find yourself getting scared because you feel like, wow, this pipeline it's not coming together. The first thing you should do is change your energy. Figure out where your current energy state is and put yourself in a different energy state. And start playing around with energy, your mindset, so that you can then see what comes to you. I learned, I was in a space where things just felt stuck. And then you start dealing with all the results of the stuckness around you. Bills, people being disrespectful, people looking down on you, so you start dealing with all of that, and it locks you in there. And then I'll change my energy And I just said, you know what? Energy change. So how do you change your energy? You got to change something physically, because we don't believe in a spook God. Okay. I want to change my energy. So I said, all right, I got to change myself physically. So I may need to do a different type of exercise. I may need to think differently. I may need to just move around a little bit more, go to some places that I normally don't go to, do some things that I traditionally don't do, make some adjustments. And just with those tweaks, boom, pipelines start opening up, offers, contracts, people calling, different things happening. And I always try to come out and share that with you all because I've dedicated my life to really helping you all get to that next level in your businesses. And so when I talk to you about things, a lot of times it's stuff that I've either experienced or come real close to experiencing. And that's why I say I'm a coach with receipts or a consultant with receipts. So change your energy, switch it up some, do something different. You know, and only you know what thoughts you're having in your head. If you are fear-based, if you're competitive, see, only you know that. If I call you on the phone and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Just checking on you, what you up to? Because I'm just wanting the connection. You know whether or not you're being competitive. You know whether or not you deeply hating on me. You know whether or not you hating on the next person. You know what you're doing. I may not be able to tell because I may be so caught up in just being excited to talk to you, to chit chat, to tell you something, but you know what's going on in your brain. You know if you just hanging around that person because you want something. You know if you just talking to that person because you want to feel like you better than somebody. You know whether or not you're around that person just to steal or to lie. You know that. And guess what? The more that person aligns with Allah and aligns with their purpose, the more you are messing yourself up by not being right. See, because if y'all both on some negative stuff, then, you probably won't, it probably be okay. But you cannot try to see somebody that you feel like, okay, they're in a anointed space or in a good space. An anointed space can just mean that they've achieved certain positive things in their lives. And then you come trying to lie, steal, and kill. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're only going to impact yourself. Only. That's it. Only going to impact yourself. And sometimes Allah is so merciful that he'll just remove you from the situation. He'll make you go somewhere across the country and do whatever it is you do and deal with your trials and trauma, and then leave me over here and be like, because you're going to leave my girl alone. And I'm using myself as an example, but it's the same for you. So only you know that. Only you know if you are on the deep down on the inside envious of somebody. Only you know if you are crafting deceptive intelligence to figure out how you can be or come off better than that person. Some people are such vultures that they will be sitting up there with negative stuff going on in their brains and in their mind and lie to themselves about it. Only you know that. Only you can create that stuff. Only you. Let's see. We talked about that. Let's see. Brother said, great point. Our energy. Let's see. Great point. Our energy is what attracts people to be our helpers and influence people to work, to strive to be better versions of themselves. It is our energy that does that. That is a byproduct of the energy. It's not in my opinion, the goal of the energy. It's a byproduct of the energy. And the byproduct of the energy can be any number of things, any number of things. But the goal of the energy is to align yourself with God. Put yourself in a position where you can draw into yourself that which you are supposed to do and the reason for you showing up on the planet. And then all of those things will come to help you. Whether it's a staffing person that you need, whether it's money that you need, whatever it is that you need, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. And so you just got to work on improving yourself. We all have to work on improving ourselves every single day, every step of the way. Every single day, every step of the way. Each and every day. I think it was Tony Robbins who said this at a workshop I was in with him. And every day, in every way, I get better and better. So I'm improving and learning. It's never too late. It doesn't matter. Every day, in every way, I get better and better. I get stronger and stronger. I get more and more in alignment. Each and every way, every single day. And we're talking about total and complete submission, from diet, from behaviors, from conversations, whatever, each and every day, getting better and better in every way. And the best thing to do is work on your mind. Work on your mind, work on the conversations you're having with yourself, work on your thoughts, what you're thinking about people. And I'm going to tell you this. If you have somebody in your life and you're really jealous of that person, if you can, if it's that kind of relationship, the first thing I would tell you to do is take a minute and get away from them. Because you're only messing yourself up. And especially if that person is somebody who's really striving, you're going to mess yourself up. And if it's a relationship that you can't end, like if you're jealous of your husband or your wife, you're jealous of your mother or father, you're jealous of your son or daughter, you're jealous of your brother or sister, then you got to get busy to go to work, because you got to be able to remain in the presence of that person and in contact with that person and working on yourself. Work on yourself. But this slave mentality that we have of competition, of let me try to do what this person is doing and let me try to outdo that person, that stuff is bad. And that is what is impacting many of us and preventing most of us from being successful. So if you're striving right now at a level 7, you could probably be at a level 10 if you stop that type of behavior. That's an old slave type of mentality, and it's very modern in its creation, and has become part of a lot of our epigenetics, that competitiveness, that let me be better than this person. A lot of us can't even be friends with somebody because we can't do it without feeling insecure. We can't do it without looking at the person and going, how do I figure out how I can be better than her? And then constantly churning in our brain. Oh, okay. She thinks she's cute because she got a necklace with a lot on it. I'm going to get me one, but I'm going to get a bigger one. Or she thinks she's something because she got a new car, or she got a nice car. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a brand new one. No, it just is. It's nothing wrong with if you want stuff. I'm a person, I love nice things. I love nice furniture. I like unique places. If you want to buy furniture, you want to put your house together, I can tell you where to go and how to put it together, because I love beautiful things. But I don't love those beautiful things at the expense of my interaction with other people. So I'm not looking at something beautiful that you like going, let me get something more beautiful than that. That I'm telling you, y'all, that is what is impeding our success, not only individually, because it's preventing us from um, aligning, but as a community, it's preventing us from uniting. It's preventing us from pooling our resources. It's preventing us from come together, that competitiveness. And that, again, it comes from slavery because we were forced even into adulthood, not just as children. See, children do that where they compete for mommy's and daddy's attention or for the teacher's attention. And it's to be expected. But for us, we were put in a position where we were competing for attention as children and as adults. And to be honest with you, this lifestyle um, that we were indoctrinated to as enslaved people is now in the workplace. So everybody's competing for the boss's attention or to get the bonus. And a lot of the corporations are structured like that now, where the employees are competing against one another. And we are doing this as adults, as grown people, and now we're programmed that way. And we take it to our social life, we take it to our family life, we take it to our church life, we take it to our fraternity and sorority life, we take it to our mosque life. It's about how can I be competitive and get more attention than this next person. It's not about authenticity. It's not about let me figure out who I am and what I showed up on the planet to do. It is about how do I get more attention? And if I can't figure out how to get more attention, because maybe the person whose attention I'm trying to get don't like people like me or don't like people that look like me. Now I'm mad and I'm going to just destroy this other person who appears to be getting attention, or I'm just going to walk around with my self-esteem low. I'm going to feel like I don't matter. I'm going to go into a dark, low vibrational space. And what is that going to do? It's going to impact my success. Let me know in the chat if any of this is making sense for us and if we can find a way to go inside of ourselves and work on what we know we need to work on. Let's clean up this vibration. Let's get it together because this competitiveness is preventing us from being brothers, is preventing us from being sisters. I think about this all the time because I say, you know what? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad turned our hearts towards each other and towards Africa. We started referring to each other as brothers and sisters. We started supporting one another and working together with one another. And then all of a sudden came this energy, this thrust in that said, we're not brothers and sisters. We are not turning ourselves and our hearts towards each other. In fact, we're going to turn against each other. I believe that was all part of some programming. And so now it's so hard for us to refer to each other as brothers and sisters. It's easier for us to refer to each other as niggas and MFs than it is for us to look at each other as brothers and sisters. And I'm going to tell you how bad it is. I was talking to a coaching client, and every other word out of his mouth was this MF, that, and that MF. And I said, you know what? I said, let's try something. I said, because I don't think that I said, let's try something. Let's replace the word MF and nigga with brother or sister. And he looked at me. I said, because I think that everybody you're referring to like that is somebody you should be referring to as brother or sister. And I said, take the week, because we were doing weekly sessions. I said, take the week and try to do that and come back and tell me how many times you caught yourself using that language with somebody who really should have been referred to you as brother or sister. And he came back to me the next week and he literally was in tears and he said, every single time I use that language, it was against someone or about someone that I should have referred to as brother or sister. And I just, it was a powerful exercise that Spirit gave me as he was talking. And I challenge us every time we find ourselves with negative language, never let negative information, negative display of words or thoughts. Ask yourself, am I thinking this way or acting this way towards somebody that really should be referred to me as brother or sister? Am I really? And here's the last part I want to say. No, we're gonna save that till next week. I'm gonna end it right there. Let's take those words, those negative words, those degrading words, those low vibrational words, and replace them with brother or sister and see what happens. See how you change the energy between you and somebody else. Just see. Just see. Because I would beg to differ that I would bet that probably 90 to 95% of the time when we're using that language, we really should be using brother or sister. We really should be. It's this nigga that, this MF that. We talking about each other. We rarely talking about anybody outside of our community when we do that. We are literally talking about ourselves and talking about each other. We even do it if we try to give somebody a compliment. Man, this nigga fine, or this MF is what? What energy is wrapped up in those words? Because if you use that word for good, you can flip it around, of course, and use it for bad, but let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try to replace those words in thought and say brother or sister. Even in thought. You may not have to say it out loud, but just in thought. Just in thought. All right, y'all. So the theme today is I want you to live a little this week. Live a little this week. All right. Don't forget to register for Financial Trauma Bootcamp Part 2. It's only $88 per household. Anybody that knows a divorce coach or a divorce lawyer that wants to come on the show and do a presentation, we had a divorce coach who does not think that she could make it. She's not sure. She has a wedding to go to and she's not sure when she's got to leave. And I need a backup just in case she can't make it. I think she'll be really good, but we're not sure, even if, because we thought about it like, maybe once you get to your hotel, you can chime in, and she's just working on her flight. And I've been working with her to get that figured out. But we need somebody. If you guys know somebody, send me an email and we'll put them together as a backup. But I'm really excited about Financial Trauma Bootcamp Part 2. It's only $88 per household. We need you all to register today. This is my birth anniversary week. So I celebrate from this week until September 9th. And I have 2 birth anniversaries that I celebrate. One is my physical birth anniversary, which is August 30th. And then the other is my spiritual birth anniversary, which is September 9th. Okay, that's the day I got my ex and joined the Nation of Islam and made a lifelong commitment. So, love offerings this week, and I'll sponsor any gift you give me. I always try to bless somebody else. So, birthday week love offerings, Sajdah Enterprises. You all can do that. We want to sponsor some families. There's some families who don't have the $88 per household. And I would love to be able to offer this financial trauma training to more people. It's important for us to get on here and continue to tweak and upgrade our ourselves, but use that QR code that's right there. Take your camera right now, put it up there, get the QR code. Give me a thumbs up once you put your camera up there and you got the QR code. It's going to take you to the Eventbrite website. Make sure you register for the $88. Do it today. Okay. And you can have as many people. I want you to have watch party. You can have 20 people over your house for that $88, and you all can use the link. You won't be able to share the link, so 2 people can't get on the link at the same time, but you can certainly have watch parties, and you can, do it at a restaurant, do it at an event space, do it at church, do it at your mosque, do it wherever, at home, right? Bring your children all in the room and say, hey, y'all, let's put this up on the big screen. And the idea is for us to begin having these conversations about financial trauma. We're going to have Dr. Michael C. Grayson. He's going to come. He's going to talk about mortgages and credit and foreclosures. Those are big sources of financial trauma for us. So we're going to have that conversation. And our divorce attorney, who is also a divorce coach, we're going to try to make sure she can get on. If not, we got the template and we just need to get somebody else. So we'll see what happens. We'll have that settled, inshallah, this week, and we'll already know. That's why I haven't put the video out yet on who it's going to be. She and I have worked on the curriculum and the conversation, but we're just not sure who's going to deliver it yet. So with that, make sure that you all get registered. The love offering is there. I've got some exciting things to tell you about our museum development coming up, some new items for the fall, some new tours, just a bunch of new stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's probably going to be after Financial Bootcamp that we'll go into that. Financial Bootcamp is September 15th. Okay, it's on a Sunday night, so you can gather the family around, have your friends over. If you say, well, I don't have any children, then have some friends over. Look, make some nachos, it's too hot for chili, but make a salad, sit around the TV and talk about these financial traumas and figure out how to support one another through financial trauma. And I'll say this one last thing. The best way to prevent a trauma, in other words, to prevent an event from having a negative impact on your life, is to have love and support around you. And the best way to heal from a trauma, or the best way to heal from an event that has a negative impact on your life, is love and support. And so let's build these networks. Let's build these little micro support systems for ourselves where we can support and love on one another. And that's what this Financial Trauma Bootcamp is designed to do, to give us tools, to raise our awareness, and to put us in a position where we got some subject matter experts that we can call on. And these people are all going to come on here and give you free consultations after you attend. So the $88, you're going to get more than that. You'll be able to respond whether it be to a QR code or text a number and fill out a form and get a free consultation about different things that you're going through. Myself personally, I've given away too many free consultations. So that's the reason why I dropped the price down to $88, because I want more of you to come on, and we're gonna figure out how to get you in the right space. So yeah, so that's it. All right. So happy Monday, everybody. Don't forget Financial Trauma Bootcamp. Make sure you get signed up, because I don't want it to be like last time where y'all are emailing me like, oh, but wait, Sister Sajdah, I didn't sign up because I was waiting on the recording. And I'm like, we're not going to release a recording. You got to actually attend that energy live in your life. You're not going to get to pedestrian your way through this. You got to come in full force. Some people said, well, I tried to sign up the morning of, and I said, we were sold out. So the goal is to sell this out too. So we only got about 300 seats. So you guys got to get in, and because there's not going to be a recording. And every time we have these master classes, these boot camps, you're going to have to attend. We're going to be working on some master classes and some boot camps at the museum, and you're going to have to attend. It's for people who are committed. So commit to the $88. And if you can't attend, somebody else in your house may be able to attend, and they can take notes for you and bring the energy back to you. But I don't want you utilizing this opportunity that we're offering you with these subject matter experts to be lazy or to be a pedestrian about it. Come, I really, really want to see you get the benefits of it. All right. So thank you to everybody that were in the chat. If you need a consultation from me, then just go to booksajdahwendymuhammad.com. If you go to booksajdahwendymuhammad.com, generally what I'll do is I'll give you a consultation for the fee, and then you get one follow-up at no charge. Okay. So go to booksajdahwendymuhammad.com, and you can sign up. The schedule's out there for your session. And if you attend Financial Trauma Bootcamp, you're going to get a session from, if you need it, from our divorce coach. You also get a session from Dr. Michael C. Grayson and Brother Wali Muhammad. That's going to be on mortgages, foreclosures, and credit. So they're giving consultations, like 3 different types of consultation for one. So that's a really good deal. Okay. And then, and we're just going to keep going. We'll get other financial trauma experts to come out here, and we'll be that group that's becoming those millionaires and those billionaires, because we'll be able to attract the right energy, the right resources to us without having to go and sell ourselves out and do something negative or immoral in order to get it. We want to build and climb the ladder and expand in a very spiritual and righteous way. And a lot of people think that this kind of thing can't be done, but I want us to be a living proof as a group that, and we're not the only ones, but being living proof that that kind of thing can be done. Okay, family. Love you all. Peace and blessings. So QR code, I'm going to show you the video afterwards, after I finish talking. And then birthday love offerings. Almost forgot. Cash App, Sajdah Enterprises, or you can Zelle. But y'all know it all goes into the pot that either is building a museum or is building some information for you guys, giving you guys free data, free something. That's what I do. That's what that Sajdah Enterprises is for. So give a little love offering, and we greatly appreciate it. It's my birthday anniversary week. I have a physical birthday anniversary and a spiritual birthday anniversary. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Love you all.